Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode, another edition of I should say a live stream edition of A Week in Geekdom. Geo here, and we started a minute late, but that's just how it is. I was getting ready and I was checking some things, but now we're here, we're doing it live, and I'm excited to bring to you guys another installment of Fable Fridays. I hope the video's okay. I know it's been lacking, and I can explain that in further detail in another video if you guys want me to talk about that stuff, but that's pretty boring. And I hope the audio's okay because I'm using these headsets that I plan on using for gaming purposes. I just bought a quick, inexpensive one, a budget-friendly microphone headset, and whatever. I'm going to use it for live streams anyways. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I know that is a very odd way to start, but we're here to talk about Fable Fridays. I've been doing it since May, I think, and mostly it started out as a monthly thing, but we're doing twice a month. Of course, we're talking the Fables Deluxe Edition series from Vertigo. Here we have the 6th Deluxe Edition hardcover right here with a beautiful looking cover. This is one of my favorites out of the whole 15-volume set right there. This particular hardcover collects issues 46 through 51, containing the stories The Ballad of Rodney and June, Wolves, Happily Ever After, and Big and Small. So yeah, plus a whole ton of back matter in this book. Let's take the slipcover off because we don't do slipcovers here, so let's throw that away. So here is the image from the slipcover, looking all kinds of beautiful right there. I love it. It's all very thematic, and if you've read this book, you know what everything means. Now, I do have to warn you guys that this video, give me a quick second, there we go. This video is spoiler heavy. So if you have not read Fables Oversized Hardcover Volume 6, the 6th part in this video, please go back, read up on this series, and then come back and enjoy this video. The brief discussion on this book review. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I don't want people commenting, oh, I hadn't read it and you spoiled it. That's why I labeled it spoilers pretty big on the video title, description, and all that stuff. So yeah, with that disclaimer out of the way, and man, thank you for joining, man. Can you put a spoiler banner? Spoiler banner. All right. Okay, give me a second here. Yeah, because I figure somebody will tune in and not know what the heck I'm talking about. How the heck do I add another one? Let's use this one. All right. Okay, so spoilers for Fables. Fables. All right. No, that's not right. Spoilers. Spoilers. And let's add another one. There we go. Save. All right, there we go. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. It's all right. I can do it. So we're going to spoil this book. Don't get mad. Get glad. All right. So what the heck is Fables Oversized Hardcover Volume 6 all about? Well, the creative team is mostly the same, so I'm not really going to comment too much on the artistic side of things. I'm just going to comment on what happened on the book. So the first thing that I want to mention is I love this cover right here. This is really cool. I love the designs for these. And the first story that we encounter in this book is The Ballad of Rodney and June. And what it basically is you follow Rodney here, right there. He is a wood soldier for the adversary's army, and he eventually, the wood soldiers, they don't really feel a whole lot. They just exist. They don't need food, sustenance. They don't suffer pain like we do of flesh. And eventually he gets wounded in one of the battles and meets the physician slash Dr. Taylor, if you will, um, who was going to fix up his leg. Of course, we're talking June right there. You see his leg all busted up. So, oh, John, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. I mean, that means a lot, man. Thank you. So his leg is busted up, and she's promising to fix it, and he is intrigued by her and sort of that curiosity because he wasn't one of the original wooden creatures created by Geppetto, who we learned in the previous book is the mastermind behind the whole thing, right? The adversary and all that stuff. So he has this nagging curiosity of, I wonder what it's like to be one of the originals. I wonder what all of that was like when Geppetto, when Father created the first one and all that stuff. So he's writing throughout the story. It's a 2-issue story. He's writing a letter to his father, explaining all his concerns and his growing admiration, I should say, or his growing emotions towards the character of June. And he, of course, is wanting for the both of them to be turned into humans, because eventually they talk and they get to know each other, and they're reading poetry, but the poetry turns out to be like bloody battle hymns or stuff like that. Not the most romantic thing, but still, he's trying and he's learning, and they are doing strange things compared to the rest of the wooden army, if you will, because they're trying to act human. They're trying to do the things that we do, to socialize and mingle with the opposite sex and all that stuff, and love and all that stuff. So that's their wish, and of course it's a controversial one because you can't have for example, he's writing that letter to send to Geppetto, so you can't expose the army's weakness like that for someone to intercept that information and all that stuff. This part was actually pretty funny, where he's talking to this orc. I think it's an orc or a goblin or whatever it may be, and they're talking about sex, and he's trying to explain it to him. He doesn't really get it about what goes where and what does what, but he's curious nonetheless, and I really enjoyed this. I had low expectations when I started reading it because I didn't really care for the wood soldiers, but as you're reading the story and you're learning about this character, Rodney, trying to find humanity and trying to understand, not necessarily regular humans, but just the fleshy kind. So his letter is sincere, and he gets eventually turned into a human. Let me see if I can show you here. First of all, the army does find out. It's a huge commotion. They don't believe it. They can't understand it, but there's love there. And these two characters will do the impossible to be together. And they find an interesting solution to that problem, which, of course, is being turned into a human, but basically being turned into sort of a sleeper agent couple. And they are going to spend years monitoring the Fabletown community, sort of a sleeper agent next door, just a regular American immigrant couple, if you will. And they're just spying on them. But of course, they will be taught assassination techniques and violent stuff for just in case something needs to happen and they need to order a hit on something. They're prepared to do that. They are going to be expecting a kid and are informing the Empire of everything that's happening on I think it's a daily basis, which is insane. But yeah, they're living out a regular life, as you can see, hidden in plain sight. And I just love the idea of these two characters that were emotionless, and through just 2 brief chapters, you learn more about them and you realize that these characters share a lot of common elements with regular humans and the same types of concerns as they evolve and grow as people. So I thought that was pretty fantastic. I really enjoyed this. It surprised the hell out of me. And probably my favorite well, not my second favorite thing about this book. I'll proceed with the story from here. Next, we got Wolves, a two-parter. We followed Mowgli. I talked on the previous stream how Mowgli was now going to his task to free his Bagheera, to free Bagheera, was to hunt down Bigby Wolf and get him back to Fabletown for a very important mission. So Wolves Part 1 and Part 2 basically revolve around that. And you got Mowgli searching up in Russia and Alaska and all that stuff. And it leads to some pretty interesting encounters with wolves or wolf packs from up in the north and regions. And Mowgli challenges them to a fight, specifically he challenges their leader. And it turns out Bigby was there. He pretty much hid all sense and trace of his passing through those areas. But the wolves are very territorial, obviously, and they are going to challenge Mowgli. It's a pretty intense, brutal fight, which surprised the hell out of me. That was really interesting. And just seeing a different side of the character. Here we have the fight right there between them, which was really well drawn. I love this so much. I love, Mowgli in this book, for some reason, and specifically in this book, reminded me of Jack Kirby drawings. I don't know why, but I kept thinking, man, this really reminds me of Kamandi for some reason. Maybe it's the way he was drawn in these issues. I'm not too sure. But there was something about it which I thought was pretty reminiscent of old school comics. So he does win and gets informed of the situation, and he figures out, Bigby's not in Russia. He has done everything imaginable to escape, and he's pretty much untraceable. But then he picks up on an idea that he swam and is now across the Pacific in Alaska. So story moves us over there. You see Bigby right there hunting for the rest of the wolves. He's so huge compared to them. That was pretty cool. So we do find Bigby, and Mowgli is able to convince him to come back to Fabletown because, according to Prince Charming, oh, here's a drawing. Hold on a second. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I saw this. I'm like, this looks a lot Kirby-esque to me, at least with Mowgli. Kind of reminded me of Kamandi and his drawings. So he convinces Bigby to return to Fabletown on the promise that he can sort of bend the rule of him not being able to go to the farm so he can return to Snow White and their children. So he does agree to it, but of course he's tasked with a very important mission, which I'm going to talk about. But here are some great scenes. I love the colors and the dynamic of this scene. You just see Bigby just wasting his life away, even though the alcohol is not really going to do anything, but at least it numbs the pain somewhat. And Sarah, of course, flaying. It's the action poses. Let me highlight you. I think so, yeah. Plus the whole hair for him, for Mowgli. I don't know. It just screamed Kirby to me. So, yeah, we do meet Sarah for a brief moment, and unfortunately, they had a little fling up in the mountains, if you will. So that was unfortunate, but it's going to come into play later. Bigby does return. There are more couple scenes right there. Let me fast forward a bit. Here we go. This is one of the coolest issues so far in this readathon that I'm doing for Fables, Secret Agent Man, where basically we learn that they're going into the Sky Kingdom with the giants and all that stuff, and they're going to use one of Jack's beanstalks. It's pretty enormous. They're able to go up there, but they task Bigby to climb up and do a very secretive mission, which is just so badass. This was easily one of my favorite things. Basically, the mission is to infiltrate and try to retrieve data or try to at least cut the adversary's wood soldier serum thing with the blue fairy. At least try and rescue her, and if it's not possible, to destroy everything. And I'm going to fast forward a bit here. Eventually, he does land. He leaps from the beanstalk, if you will, and the giants and all that stuff. That was really cool. I love the idea that the giants. I love the idea that the giants they can watch over the Mundies and the Fables and everybody. It's not like they're in a separate area. So I thought that was pretty cool. They can oversee the kingdom and our world and everything else. So they are at a pretty. They have the advantage, is what I'm trying to get at, and it's pretty tactical. It's a smart tactical move to try and get them to their side. So that's what they're trying to do. The Fables from Fabletown, and Bigby starts his mission. He infiltrates the kingdom and is able to track down. Covert style, this was badass. He takes down all the soldiers, and he's able to venture into Geppetto's workshop and house. Here we see Pinocchio. He's trying to convince Pinocchio to come back, but at the same time, take care of the power source, as you can see right there with the fairy or her corpse. That is, they can't do it, obviously, because Geppetto finds out. And I want to, I don't want to get too political in this, but there is some analogies and some explanations when it comes to their tactics with with Israel and their war with Palestine and all that stuff. I don't want to get into that stuff here, but I thought it was pretty interesting that they would go that route. And the chapter is called the Israel analogy, and how they're not going to give up their territory, and they're going to fight back, and they're going to hurt you with the same level of hurt that you inflicted on them. And it gets a little bit too political, and I got why some readers were turned off by the author's writing in this part, but I didn't really mind at all. And he is Bigby is going to deliver payback for what happened with the battle against the Wood Army from a couple issues back in Fabletown in a really badass way. And he basically says, I have here this transmitter stick, which is basically a receiver transmitter for a huge badass bomb which detonates. And this was just utterly insane. And I was like, oh crap, it just hit the fan. So he, here you can see he escapes with the two of them, but mission success, the mission was a success. He's able to get rid of the power source, which was the Blue Fairy, and of course burn down the house and warehouse, and send a pretty powerful message that they're not going to be messed around with, and they're going to do some payback. And he's able to escape and cut down the beanstalk so the orcs and stuff can't follow, and is able to return finally back home with the rest of the Fables in Fabletown. They're so excited to meet him, to see him again after so long. I don't remember right now, me doing this live stream, how much time had passed since he originally left, but it was pretty emotional. And of course, one of the highlights of the whole series, which relates to the back matter of the book, actually, the obvious meetup between, or the reunion, I should say, between Snow White and Bigby Wolf, and of course his proposal for marriage, which was really sweet and really interesting. I love the way this whole issue was set up, and it went back and forth between the future, and then it went back. You saw the wedding, and then you saw them going on a honeymoon and then returning back. It's really cool, and I love that everybody came back to do a really nice, well done ceremony, and well done job from the creative team, I should say. So everybody's coming back. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but no, I didn't. The seventh cub the seventh son from or child that, from Snow White and Bigby has a name. Of course, Bigby named him Ghost, and he's invisible because he's wind. He's a wind creature, and he has met his father, and Bigby takes him back to the real world, our world. So that was pretty cool as well to see that interaction, and of course to see Snow White going, because she previously made the kids, if I remember correctly, write to Bigby many letters and send gifts and all that stuff, and she hid them away in an area just at the border of the farm. So now Bigby has to read all of that and memorize everything. So he's going to come back into their lives and know, like, yes, you sent me this, you sent me that. The kids obviously are training to be able to leave the farm and be able to stay as humans, which is pretty awesome. So the wedding concludes right here. Beautiful looking splash page right there. I love this. Vows and everything. And part of the deal was that Bigby was partnered, and because he's not allowed in the farm, obviously, because of the other animals, he bought a huge section of land that was previously hosting all the dragons and the giants and all that stuff from the first book. So now they've got a pretty big ass house right there and are going to live in that area. So he's living close to the farm where he can spend his time with his wife and kids in pretty wholesome fashion. And I love this page too. Happily ever after right there. Love it. Yeah. Oh, shoot. That sucks. It wouldn't surprise me because I don't really have the best internet. I just wanted to do it live for the heck of it because I like doing live streams. That's why I mostly do recorded stuff on my channel. So yeah, sorry about that. I was just I don't know where I cut off. So if you can let me know, and man, where I left off, so I can recap, I guess. Basically, after the wedding, we get one final issue, which was really interesting. I get why it ends this way, but I think the wedding would have been a perfect way to end the book. But we get one final issue with Cinderella, which is called Big and Small, and she's basically tasked. I didn't mention it earlier, but she is at the top with the Sky Kingdom and the Giants and all that stuff as a liaison, I guess, for when Bigby climbs up and all that stuff. But now she's tasked with the very important job of securing the treaty between the Giants and Fabletown, that alliance that's going to be formed. Same thing happened to me. Oh well, cool. That's good. At least it worked for you guys. So for everybody else watching on the replay, I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. So yeah, Big and Small is a pretty nice action-packed adventure story of Cinderella trying to secure that. The Giants are bumbling idiots, but you need them for the tactical advantage when it comes to the incoming or the upcoming fight against the Empire and the adversary. Yeah, they're bumbling idiots, but she's going to do everything possible to do the thing that she hates, which is getting involved in politics. And I completely get it. The king of the Giants is in pain. Turns out he has an ear infection, but they're too dumb and they don't want the responsibility, so they're always passing on the leadership to the next one and so on and so forth. So she's got less than 3 days, which is a theme throughout the whole issue, to leave the kingdom and get the proper medicine and doctor to help and secure that treaty. So she goes through quite an ordeal and turning into this mouse and going into the small world, which we hadn't seen before in the present timeline. There's a small world, and is able to get the doctor to help and, of course, secure the treaty. So that's how the book ends, and we get a huge chunk of material right here. Treasures from the Woodland Vaults, which is basically the whole script to the wedding issue, which is nice. The one thing I always complain about these hardcovers is that they don't really have enough material, back matter. I want to see more than sketches. I want to see scripts and all that stuff. But sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. With this, we get the full script, which is awesome. I love reading scripts. I always like learning about the writing process when it comes to comics. And then at the end, we get a gallery. Oh, no, we get a diagram of Fabletown, which is great. And the farm right there. There we go. And here we go, Fables Gallery. So we get some really nice art from multiple guest artists. Probably one of my favorites is, of course, by the late and awesome Darwin Cook. I didn't know he did this one, so that was a surprise from Red Riding Hood. Also, Red Riding Hood in the wedding, not really recognizing Bigby, but being like, I think I know him. That part cracked me up. Here's the sketchbook portion right there. I love these. I wish we could have more. And there's the lunging action, the action poses that John pointed out earlier. And yeah, characters' biographies, or author biographies, I should say. And that is that. Overall, this was really well done. Easily one of the best in the series so far. I love the wedding issue. And I love that he, I love that the author was able to tackle the idea of getting everybody back together without being too forced. There was a natural progression to things, and I really appreciated that. I liked the synergy between each volume and how the story just ramps up from there and keeps going. Even when you take detours to examine stuff like the wood soldiers with Rodney and all that stuff, it still expands the universe. And by universe, I mean the world building in this series of Fables. And it doesn't really bother you. The art is consistently great. I like it. I've grown accustomed to it, so I don't mind it at all. I don't know what you guys thought of the art. Let me know in the chat or in the comments section down below, but I thought it was great. And just an overall sweet story. It was very quick paced, especially with that issue of Bigby going in infiltration mode. And then you had the wedding, which was really sweet. I didn't mention this, but this scene was pretty awesome with the kids trying to learn how to stay as humans and not turned into werewolves or wolves or wind creatures or whatever they're called. So I thought that was really nice. And of course, Mowgli was a badass in this. I really enjoyed that. Overall, just a fantastic volume of Fables. The series just keeps getting better and better. And I can't wait to see where the story's headed, because I have not read Volume 7, so I'm really excited about that. And hopefully, as of this video, you'll see that next week. So I'm really excited to bring you another live Fable Fridays. So, yeah, Fables, just fantastic. I do recommend it. A very easy and fun read with great characters, and the art, like I mentioned, just really cool. I love this so much. So that is that, folks. Thank you for tuning in for this review. If anybody in the chat has any questions, let me know. A couple announcements I want to make before we end the stream, because usually it's just 30 to 40 minutes, nothing too special. Let me take the spoilers off just in case. You might have noticed, if you're subscribed to my channel, that I am doing I did 2 community posts on my community tab here on YouTube, where I am talking about books that I want you guys to pick out. I thought it'd be pretty cool for the month of October if you guys selected the anime and manga that I am going to review that month. Now, I'm going to do more reviews on October, but I thought it'd be cool if you guys voted on that and helped me pick something out. Because sometimes I do have a lot of stuff that I'm reading and watching, but I don't I don't necessarily keep track of everything, so sometimes I lose. Sometimes I lose track of what I'm reading and all that stuff, and I don't know which what's the word I'm looking for? Which book I should talk about for you guys. So I thought that was pretty cool, and you guys have voted, and that is really awesome. I thought it was going to go one way, it went another, and some titles are winning. I'm really surprised at the ones that are winning in the poll. So if you have not voted and you want to participate and help out the channel a little bit with that, go to my YouTube channel, the main channel, and hit on the little community tab at the top, and there are two polling options. One is for anime, and I posted like 5 different anime. And then I did another one with manga. I posted 4 manga titles that I have physically because I do read a lot of manga digitally instead of owning them. So yeah, if you can do that, that'd be pretty cool. Spoiler banner down. Wait, there was spoilers. Larry, thank you for joining, Larry. The manga Frag Time arrived today. The anime is coming. Yeah, I mean, Frag Time's interesting. It's one of those kooky stories. I didn't mention it in my video, but it reminded me of growing up when you read sci-fi stories for young adults that don't really explain the world to you that well. It's more about the character's journey and experience. It reminded me of that. It really brought me back to high school when I used to read that stuff for assignments in different classes. That was really cool. I like the whole idea that there's this sci-fi element thrown in. The character can stop time, which is pretty OP, but you don't really know why she got it. You don't really know how it works. It's just a plot device for the two characters to mingle and get to know each other. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Endman. I think the only manga anime I've seen, heard of on that poll was JoJo and Pluto. I tried mixing it up and not putting super famous titles, JoJo being one of the exceptions there, but I'll switch it up. I'll keep doing it if you guys want. And for November, a whole brand new list of anime and manga, so look forward to that. But yeah, right now, as of this video, I'm not going to say what who's winning because that could change by the end of the stream. So just go to the community tab and vote which video you want me to make. Those 2 videos will be on the last week of October because as soon as the poll ends this month in September, now I have to go back and watch the shows again and read the manga again so that I can make a proper review on it for you guys. And man, no one I have ever seen has reviewed the Astro Boy story Pluto was based on. Yeah, I'll talk about that in the video. It's gonna be I want to make a really cool video because you guys are voting for that, and it's extra special. So it's gonna be a little bit more in depth. It's gonna have spoilers. I'm gonna warn people in the video, all that stuff. Lots of photos and videos and all that stuff. So I'm trying to make something really cool with that. John, I wish Blade of the Immortal was on there. I need others' opinions. I just watched and I'm so confused. I didn't like the original anime, and I only watched like half of the one that came out last year on Amazon Prime. So I would need to go back and watch that again in its completion. I've never read the manga, so I do apologize. But I can't talk about the anime because I do have Prime, and I can go ahead and watch it again. So yeah, I'll put it up on the next video, the next poll, I should say. That's okay with me. So yeah, also, if you guys have noticed, I am now trying to balance things out. This week you had manga video, anime, comics. So that's sort of the formula that I'm going for the moment. I don't buy a lot of collected editions anymore, so I can't be like, oh, here's this book, enjoy it, and do an overview. That's not possible because I'm trying to save money for other things. So I'm not buying books anymore, just a couple series. When it comes to comics, the only ones I'm actively hunting down are, of course, Aquaman comics, which is sad that there's only 2 more books left because the book's canceled. Justice League Dark, which is one of my favorite teams, and older runs. I recently got into the I started collecting the Alan Moore Swamp Thing because I never finished that run. I've only read a tiny portion of it. So I want to get that and more acclaimed runs and all that stuff when it comes to graphic novels. For manga, I don't really have space for a lot of manga, which I know how YouTube works. And I know a lot of people like to make haul videos after haul videos because they want subscribers. And I would want subscribers too. I want this channel to grow. I've been here since so long. I feel like an old man when it comes to the YouTube thing. Was I one of the? I think I don't want to toot my own horn because I don't have the subscriber base to back this up, but I think I'm one of the OG ones. I think I'm the first one when it comes to Omnibros and all that stuff. I'm the oldest when it comes to the channel. But yeah, I want the subscriber count to grow and more people to watch because I want that interaction with you guys, and I want to spread the geekdom and positivity and people to enjoy my videos and all that stuff. So unfortunately, I'm not made of money and I can't be spending so much. So the hauls are limited, and I've said it multiple times. If I can sell a bunch of my collected editions that I know I'm not going to read again, and I didn't really like them or love them, then I'll start getting manga physically because I do want some classics in my collection, like the Blade of the Immortal, hardcovers, Hellsing, all that stuff. John, the Amazon is the one I watched. Yeah, I love the animation on that one. I just thought the story was a little bit all over the place for me, but I'll watch it again to form a solid opinion on it. I think I only watched like 5 or 6 episodes, so that wasn't enough for me to form a solid review on it. And man, wasn't the binding on Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 1 bad? I hope the new... yeah, the binding is pretty meh on the original. The new printing should be coming out. Let me check real quick live. The release schedule, it should be coming out October 21st is when it's... No. My bad. Do not quote me on that. Let's see. Absolute Swamp Thing. October 7th is the new edition. So I hope it fixes the problem. I'm only getting the trades because I don't have room for absolutes. My Calyx shelves are jam-packed with stuff. So yeah, unfortunate. But I'm happy with the trades. I don't need every single thing in oversized edition. So, what was I talking about? Oh, the manga. So I do want to upgrade on that eventually. And anime, I have a lot of room there. And some other shelves that I have some DVDs and stuff that I can just move around. So anime, there's no problem there. I'm still going to be getting shows that I like. So that is the schedule for A Week in Geekdom, I think, right? Yeah. So if you haven't checked out my videos, if you're watching this live for the first time, and if you're a fan of Fables, I do content like this where I talk about comics, anime, and manga. I do a lot of manga reviews, and I talk about all the anime that I'm watching. I'm currently going through the fall 2020 anime season, which has been really interesting. A lot of series have kind of let me down, and some others have been really surprising, and I cannot wait. I'll probably do a live stream once a good 95% of those shows end, which is coming up pretty soon in like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll look forward to that. And man, Volume 1 and 2 come out pretty soon. For Swamp Thing, yeah, the reprint of Volume 1 comes out, and then in 2 more weeks after that, or the 2 following weeks after that, we get Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 2, supposedly. I don't know if it's delayed. I'm not paying attention to that. But it is scheduled for the 2 of them for October. Wait, I double stack my Calyx and triple stack with manga. I triple stack with manga on the Calyx. I have a thing, and it probably has to do with aesthetics and feng shui and all that stuff, but I like clean aesthetics with my displays, whether it's figures or books and all that stuff. I don't like double stacking because it looks like a cluttered mess, and I don't see the books in the back. I want to see everything all nicely put. So theoretically, I could keep buying books and double stacking, but I don't know. I kind of want a clean shelf, and I've mostly done that. I'll do a tour video. Actually, I do have to do a tour video. I forgot about that. September is when I do them. So, oh, sorry. Look forward to that soon. I'm going to head over to my Calyx shelves and do a book tour with manga and all that stuff. And I'm going to do another video talking about my anime collection because it's a little different from last year. Hopefully, you guys enjoy that. No one else I see does that. They all have to see each individual spine. Yeah, I just like the simplicity of it. I don't mind what books are there in what shape or form or whatever, because mine's a mess. I have a cube for each company, almost each company, but like a huge row for Marvel and another for DC. I have a cube for Dark Horse, and then a whole row for Image Comics. I have another one for Boom Studios, and I took the Valiant stuff out so I could display manga, the ongoing manga that I'm reading. And what else? I have a separate cube for TMNT and stuff like Hellboy. So I don't know. I really hope to do my tour video soon and relaunch. Yeah, man, go for it. I'm excited. Go do it. I'll watch it ASAP. I love tour videos. You always pick up on things, and I always have a note on my laptop. And whenever I see hauls or tours, I write everything down. I'm like, ooh, I need to get that. I need to read that. So that's always fun. Plus, we like sharing our collections online, right? So it's a win-win. It's almost 4 years since I made a video. Man, I mean, 2020 has been such a mess. Now is the perfect time to jump back into it and have fun and just talk about what you love. So go for it. So let's see if I'm forgetting anything. I should be doing Fables oversized hardcover next Friday. And for anime, I think I'm going to do... it's not necessarily a review, but it is about, what was it? Because I had two ideas floating in my head. One of them was sort of like a video essay thing, a short one, and the other was a review for a series. I don't know. We'll see. And for manga, I will probably do a review on one of the books I have here that I'm not going to show just yet because that's part of my haul at the end of the month. You'll see it eventually. So, yeah, that's that, everybody. All right, I think I'm going to head out. It's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this spoiler review discussion. Fables is amazing. I love it so much. I love talking about it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the chat for chatting with me. And if you're watching the replay, tell me down below what you thought of Fables Oversized Hardcover Volume 6, what you thought of the wedding and the badass infiltration action with Big B and all that stuff. Tell me down below. And if not, please remember to vote in the suggestion polls that I made for anime and manga in the month of October. That'd be pretty cool if you guys could check that out. And I will bring that video to you at the end of October. Please remember, the voting ends at the final day of September. So just a warning on that. Jesse, thank you, my man. Thank you so much. Larry, I triple stacked my Calyx, and I have 33 squares devoted to manga. That'll be a ton of manga when it's full. That is awesome. I have to be completely honest with you guys, since I'm not really getting too many collected editions. There's a couple omnis that I want in the near future, but it's very minuscule compared to I don't want to drop any names, but compared to other people on this platform, just a couple random volumes. I want a full Calyx of manga. I think that's my goal. but that's impossible because I love comics. So I think it'll be half manga, half comics. I don't know how I'm going to do that. We'll see. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. God bless to every single one of you. I've got to go. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and being a part of A Week in Geekdom. If you're new here and you're subscribing, be sure to click the bell icon so you know when new videos pop up whenever I upload them. And if you want me to follow, if you want me to follow, if you want to follow me on social media, tongue-tied. It's like 9:48 p.m. Jesus Christ. If you want to follow me on social media, links are all in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. All right. For real this time. Thank you so much, everybody. I will be back next week with another live stream. So thank you, everybody. God bless. Stay safe out there. Thank you, everybody in the chat and everybody watching on replay. You guys are the absolute best, and I couldn't do any of this without you guys. So thank you so much.